Okay. Hey everyone, my name is Isaiah. Welcome to Flood. The lighting is gonna look different because we actually did an intro already, but something on my end got messed up, and we already did the interview. So this is post-interview. This is like when the concert's over and the lights come on. Like, it's not gonna look like this in a second.
Just pretend that, you know.
Yeah. Pretend for now.
Mm.
So yeah, this podcast is, again, it's called Flood. It's gonna be pretty much about music, art, community, anything that comes to mind, really. We just wanted to make something where we can talk to you guys and see how you guys are doing, especially in the pandemic, and get a feel for creative minds and creativity in general, and how we can help promote you guys and all that stuff. So let me introduce my co-host Monet, and Monet, you can tell them a little about yourself and what you do and why you do it.
Hello, I'm Monet, one of your co-hosts, along with the amazingly talented Isaiah. Isaiah asked me to do this podcast, honestly, less than a month ago. I want to say it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yes. Had a shower thought. He'll probably explain that to you in a sec. Mm-hmm. But I'm a filmmaker, for lack of better terms, musician, drummer, play bass, play a little bit of guitar. I songwrite, record my own music, and all that jazz. And I'm a film major, looking to transfer soon to a school down in SoCal. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, it's fun to collaborate with people, and that's kind of why I'm excited for the podcast, because, I mean, even if we're not collaborating with them musically or in an artistic way, we're having a conversation with them, and I think that, in the very least, is really eye-opening. I'm excited. We have some pretty cool people that we're gonna talk to pretty soon.
Yeah, and Monet's leaving me for the SoCal, so
I'm only leaving you. We're not even together physically, so it's fine. It's fine. Just pretend I'm still here.
Well, to be honest, yeah. So, because of the pandemic, we're doing this virtually. I have a studio here, and hopefully, once it's safe to do so, and we get vaccinated and all that, we are able to bring people in and do it live.
Yeah.
So live in person. But yeah, for now, Zoom will have to work. What was I gonna say? A little bit of backstory about me. I grew up in the Bay Area. I've been here my whole life. Let me try that again. A little bit of backstory about me. Grew up in the Bay Area. I've been here my whole life. I'm currently in 3 groups right now. Also got some solo stuff. And I like to collaborate with people. I've done, songs and projects with Monet over here. So, also, I'm working and doing school. So me and Monet both have a pretty full plate right now. Yeah. But we were able to find time to make this work.
Yeah, it's fun though. It's really fun.
We're really happy that we were able to do that. So, this week's been pretty weird. It's been exciting.
It's been a week
for me.
It's been a week.
It's been about a week.
This is a good end to it though. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a crazy week. It's been setup week. We've been getting all the materials and resources and equipment that we've been needing to make this work. There's a lot that goes into it, I gotta say.
There's a lot. Isaiah figured out,
and then
most of it.
well, Monet helped me
collaborative,
a lot with the.
But
it's collaborative.
A lot to research.
Monet's been a great help.
The technology.
It's been weird because we've never done a podcast before. We've never done a podcast before, nonetheless a virtual one. So, right. We had to get a camera and all the stuff. But we just filmed the first one, again, because I knew this after the fact. And it went pretty well, actually. I have all the files. Nothing's corrupted yet. And
we'll see what happens.
No,
we'll be fine. We'll see what
happens.
Yeah, so if you're interested in being a guest on our podcast, we would love to talk to you. You could fill out our artist submission form. It'll be available on our Instagram page. We have a website up now. It's going to be great. You could fill it out on there, and we'll review it, and, we'll have you on. I mean, we have kind of a rough lineup right now. Of course, we can't have everyone on right away. I think it goes based on releases, and there's definitely no order of importance, but it's more so, what does that person have out right now? What's their availability like? And it really depends on them, I think.
We'll try our best. But
we'll try our best.
We'll contact you. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a different time we're living in, so I figured it'd be a good time to just again promote art, and you know, a lot of people are struggling right now. So I know that being creative has at least helped fulfill me, and you know, it's just been an outlet, and hopefully that by the time this pandemic is over, there's a lot more, you know, new material out and new people trying new things. I'm a music teacher, and we've been getting a lot of students because a lot of people have time now, so we get a lot of guitar people and like that, and it makes me happy seeing like people picking up an instrument they've always wanted to try out, you know. So
yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
Should we technically, if this is the intro, are we gonna introduce him then? Technically.
Yeah, I guess so. I promise that I'm not disheveled, and I promise that I'm not. My hair is normally not this messy, but we just filmed our first one, so me and Monet both, we feel like it kind of feels like we just played a show.
Yeah, pretty tired.
It's kind of late.
It's okay.
But
we did pretty well, I think.
Yeah. So
very fun.
Very fun. It was kind of a long one too for the first episode. I mean, I'm happy it was long. I thought it was gonna be like a 30-minute thing. I'm glad that we kept it going.
I know. I was worried it was gonna be super short, but yeah, we have a good idea now how it'll go.
Yeah.
Next time.
So without further you know what I'm saying?
You got it.
God, I didn't prepare at all today for like, I said this earlier, but I didn't prepare at all for today for like, you know, when you have something big you got to do or significant, you get sleep the night before, you eat right, and you
prepare
you clean up. Yeah.
Leading up.
I had, not that I slept into bed like at 3, and then I had Jack in the Box for breakfast. I had pizza.
And you had work.
And I had pizza for lunch. And then I haven't had dinner, so it's like I'm on empty stomach. And Monet, what did you do today to prepare for this?
All I did was homework today. I woke up at like 11, kind of late, and then like I picked up my dogs from the groomers at literally 6 o'clock. I was finishing an assignment because I knew that I wouldn't, like, it was due at 12. I'm like, I'm not gonna be free once we start.
It's funny because you can see our guest, like, I think he was kind of hungry too.
Yeah, he was. I felt bad because we're like, okay, we're ready, and then an hour later we're like, okay, now we can start.
Yeah, everything that could have happened did happen. So I guess that's
first episode.
Yeah, first episode. But we'll get better, and if you guys will stick with us, we're excited to keep going with this thing. We're gonna try and do it. We're gonna aim for every week, but we got stuff to do, so we might not be able to. But
we got lives.
Yeah, we'll figure it out,
sometimes.
And we'll keep you guys updated. Thank you guys for being here, and without further ado, here is our interview that took place on March 20th with Iraya.
Let's go. Iraya.
I look hella dumb.
Yes. I didn't even bother to get up. I just...
Hey.
Yes.
Hey.
The man we want to see. Yes.
Damn. That took so much energy out of me.
Good morning, San Francisco.
That took all my energy.
Welcome.
Hello.
So let us explain why we had to have you wait so long. We just recorded a nice little intro.
Very nice.
And then none of it recorded the audio. And then I was like,
oh, that's amazing.
None of it.
Very
so good.
amazing.
Monet and I.
So you guys had to go back and watch the video so you could redo everything like word by word.
We're just gonna do it after. We're gonna have.
Yeah, we didn't even redo it.
Although we
so.
Okay.
We could overdub it. Actually, that'd be a good idea.
That'd be kind of funny.
It's like not in sync at all.
None of the words match the lips at all.
Right.
It'd be cool if
That'd be actually.
Y'all switch the voices too. Like it's a video of like Monet talking, but it's like Isaiah's voice. That'd be kind of funny.
That'd be like, wild. Wait,
promo.
Monet, we should do that for like the next video or something.
I'm down.
When we have more time to figure that out.
My co-host does my voiceover.
Okay, so I'm trying to see who met who first. Did I know you before Monet met you?
You guys knew each other first,
yes.
I believe.
I think the first time I remember talking to you was well, it was at DVC, but I don't remember I don't remember what the thing was, but I was talking to Monet about this, was that for people who are listening, when concerts come back, you need to see him. You need to see Iraya live because you have this like you have this. Listen, you have this charm about you that's like. Because I remember, okay, so me and Junior went to go see the Cornerstone show. You know what I'm talking about? The Cornerstone when you were opening for that.
Yeah, in Berkeley.
And you had, and the crowd was like, you know, it was pretty big. And me and him were like watching, and we were like, damn, he's got like a really good control of that crowd. Like he could like, you know, eat oranges on stage and like let it, and they would be cheering. Like you had a perfect like, you know,
didn't
it
see
felt
me?
like
I
you had the
did.
same.
Like I was.
Oh, you
not-
did?
Yeah, that's
That's what got the crowd hyped up.
yeah. That was actually my
That's the
whole
reason why
act.
they showed up.
That was my whole thing.
Watching
I'm sorry.
the oranges.
I shouldn't have interrupted you. I thought it'd be funny.
No, that's no, because that's the truth. Is that
Perfect.
you know, I don't know.
You can interrupt us all you want. That's why you're here.
Yeah, please. Actually do, because then I'll keep going and then I won't stop. No, because I remember I was telling Monet about this the other night, and I was like, that was one of the first experiences where because at DVC I was still fairly new, and I was one of the first experiences where I felt like, oh, I'm networking, I'm connecting with someone who like shown that it's possible to do like a show like that was a big show. Like the Cornerstone's a pretty good venue. I've seen like artists there, and I was like, you know, like dang, okay, this is possible. Like it was inspiring. So I want to thank you for that. I never actually like say anything, but that was a really cool experience for me and Gerardo too. We both were like, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this now. You know,
That's so
because,
nice.
yeah.
Oh, that was that was the biggest show I ever did.
Really?
I didn't.
Dude.
I don't like, you know, when you look at numbers and stuff, you don't really think about like how big that is. But like when I saw like the numbers of just like, oh hey, like, you know, because the headliner, you know, the one I was like opening for was like, oh hey, like these are the numbers for like the tickets that came in and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, like that's cool, right? Like, you know, like a couple hundred and stuff. But then I don't think I was prepared for like when I got on stage. I was like, oh, this is a lot of people.
Right.
I hope I have enough
who did
oranges.
You open for?
I'm sorry.
Who did you open for again?
Mackenzie Shreve. So I actually got the gig because my bass player, they're like childhood friends, and like she's been doing like great things up in New York and stuff. So she's pretty cool, and she was like, "Hey, you don't want to open for me?" I'm like, "Bet."
Dude, that's awesome. It's who you know.
Yeah.
It really
it's
yeah. It's straight up like it's crazy. Like
It's
that's like
interesting.
how I got all my gigs. TBH.
Did you get paid for that gig too?
I did. Yeah.
Nice. That's
it's
pretty
interesting
good.
you mentioned the crowd count, because I was wondering, like, you know, if you look at like social media and stuff, like 100 followers usually, you know, it's not ranked as like, oh, that's like not that many people. That's what, you know, at 100 or something.
Right.
But if you put like 100 people in a room, you know, if you take like 30 or 100 people in a room, that's a ton of people.
That's
like, you know, I never think
right.
about
For like a
like,
show,
you
that's
know?
a ton.
And then you think about like the show, it's just like, okay, like if you can grab their attention, if you can, you know, like compel them to, I guess, like do anything that you want, because, you know, like you're the act or whatever, like,
yeah.
you know, and I don't mean to put this in terms of just like, oh, like their money, but like
Yeah.
you know, like if you were selling merch and they were all compelled to buy it because of like how well you performed and stuff, like 100 people, let's say, so, I don't know, like $5, like that's like
That's pretty
like-
good.
It's like,
it's like $500
$500 or something.
That's
All
500
of us college
chickens.
students don't know how to math.
you know,
That's 500
500
chickens.
chickens.
That's it's in a pretty good area, like in terms of like it's in the heart of like downtown, or maybe not the heart. I don't know. It's in downtown.
It's a
Berkeley,
pretty
right?
good, yeah. It's like on it's on Telegraph. No, it's like near Telegraph though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just sad I never got to like go. I never got to see a show at the Cornerstone. I never got to see you perform. But I will say, I was gonna say, oh, Isaiah, you should be jealous, but I forgot we were all part of the same choir. We did all get to perform together.
Well, that's where I met you.
Yeah, we met like during, it was like almost a year ago.
Yeah.
More than a a year ago.
Just a bit,
through Winter
like,
Choir.
a year and like a
Yeah.
couple months or something.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember, but do you remember me calling you, as a joke, I called you like Kuya Jeremiah.
Oh
My god.
you unlocked like
It
a
was a
memory
joke.
for me, and I was like, oh, this is, I don't know, I'm so not used to being called like Kuya. So
Yeah.
like, for those who don't know, I guess like Kuya is like means older brother in like Filipino and Tagalog stuff, right? Like I'm the middle child, right? So like,
okay.
but like my little brother's so close in age to me, like he never calls me Kuya, right?
Yeah.
And like a lot of people, like a lot of my family don't call me Kuya. Like I have a nickname, but they never like call me Kuya. So like having someone call me
Right.
that, like that was just like, oh,
Like, what? That's not me.
wait a minute.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I only did that because, like, and for the record, I'm not Filipino, but
Yeah,
all
that's
my
why I
friends
was like
are.
hella surprised. I was like double surprised. I was like,
like,
I don't want to assume, but also like, and also, you know what I mean?
like, what are you doing? Like, wait a minute. Yeah, that's what you were like. You're like, you don't have to call me that, by the way. I'm like, it's okay. I'm not gonna.
So-
I don't go around calling people that.
Is that only for older siblings? Going like
Yeah,
you would call
So
your older sibling that?
your older brother, and then
Oh,
for
okay.
for like older sister, it's ate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're an Odding? Is that how you say that? Odding? Or is that different?
Yeah, Adding's like a younger sibling.
Younger,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me see.
Nice.
I wanted to ask you on the topic
Yeah.
of like big shows. How did you get that Google gig? Near the bridge.
Oh, what the heck? Yeah. What is
and then
that?
yeah, that
Oh.
was pretty big, right?
Yeah, that was huge for me. Like, yeah. So when I got that actually led me to make a band in the first place, right? Because I was like, yo, they want me to Google, like the Google, like, you know what I mean, like the default search engine on my browser,
The default. Yeah.
like those guys, shit. And like for years I've been doing, and I will lead up to how I got it in the first place, but for years I've been just like doing gigs by myself and stuff. But like for this, like I was just like, I need to be bigger than this, you know? Like this is like, to this day, it's still one of the biggest gigs I've ever done. And so that compelled me to like get a band together. Thankfully, you know, it worked out just fine. How I got it, it's the people, you know. Well, I mean, we're cool, but like for the sake of this, like an acquaintance that works there, and he was like one of like the leaders when I like went to this one retreat, this like youth group retreat thing like a few years back. But he remembered that I was a musician and like, you know, does music stuff, and then he hit me up. He was like, hey, you want to do this thing for Google? I'm like, are you kidding me? Who would
Like,
say
why
no to
why
that?
even ask?
Yeah, like,
It's like,
just-
yes, of course.
Just let me know. And then like, he
Right.
was just like, oh, hey, like, so how much you want to get paid to? I was like, I get paid too. It was, it was
And you get to
Google,
say
so
how
I was
much?
like,
Yeah.
I was like down for whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was great.
Do you remember the
They,
first
like-
time you got paid for a show? That feeling?
Yeah. Oh my god. I like, okay, like obviously the amount like itself is like not like
Yeah.
a big deal, but the fact
But
that
the fact that you're getting paid.
was that's
Yeah,
a huge deal
yeah.
in itself. It's like, oh hey, like you're actually paying me for like this, like all the hours I've practiced,
Yeah.
you know, and you want to like pay me for my time. That's amazing. That's cool.
I'd be happy if someone gave me $1 for playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like
Yeah.
you're just like, oh
Yeah, literally anything.
Yeah.
For me, it
Ton of
almost
that.
felt wrong. I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to take this. Like my first
Yeah, like-
time, I was like,
oh yeah.
really? I
felt
was like,
that too.
Is this for the, you know? Yeah, it's weird.
I got over that real quick
Yeah.
though. I got over that real quick.
I said, oh,
yeah,
just give
not,
me.
not,
Yeah,
not
I'll
too much
take
of a
it.
problem.
I feel like
Google really got to his head. I'm just kidding.
I feel like for musicians, right? I feel like when they start off, for the most part, you know, because you know it's a love of music and stuff. It takes like this holistic view of just like, nah, dude, like I want to do it for like you know,
Right.
do it for the
Humble
art.
beginnings.
Yeah, I want to do it for the art.
And that
dog.
accent.
And then you realize how much time and work that you put into it, and you're kind of just like, hey, fuck, yo, I wanna Let me get paid
Right,
for
I
this.
deserve. Yeah, I
Let me
deserve
get paid
this.
for this. You know, I don't know. Also, am I
And
allowed
it's
to
rewarding
swear?
too. I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to
Yes.
censor.
We'll see. We'll
myself.
find out. We'll find out. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Well, let's ask the audience. We'll,
See what YouTube how that feels.
Where is the audience? Yeah. Sorry. Don't mind me.
okay, so my camera's gonna shut off because it's doing this thing, but it's fine. It'll just go black for a second, but it won't matter.
Yeah, don't freak out. That
Yeah.
might happen to our
Yeah,
cameras.
if
Got
we're on a detonator. It happens
No.
whenever I
Oh.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give it 8 seconds to go off. Monday, do you want to count off my countdown? Hype me up.
3,
2,
2,
Whoa!
1.
Happy New Year!
Isaiah has left the podcast. Our new host is now Jeremiah. Sorry,
Oh.
Araya.
Oh, hey. Yeah. Welcome
New
to.
host. Oh,
Flood?
and Isaiah's picture.
That's a topic I wanted to ask about too.
Ooh, yeah. He's like,
Welcome to
nice,
Flood.
nice.
Flood podcast.
How do you pronounce it? Period, flood, period. Dot, flood, dot.
So that was something I wanted to ask about. Was speaking of the name, you've told me this before in the past, but I want for the people at home. So yeah, when you made the, I hope I'm allowed to say your old artist name, but
Yeah.
your name used to be J. Anthony, right? And then you made the change
Back in
to
the day.
Iraya. I'm curious the process behind that, and like, what was it? Something conscious, like, oh, like this feels right, or was it something that corresponded with the EP, like that would be like a parallel, or was it just like, you know, you were sick of the old one, or like, what's the story behind that?
So I mean, there is a story behind it. So for the longest time, right? Like I've been kind of going under like J. Anthony for like a few years, from around like 2016 till very recently, right? A lot of things went on through those years, and even when it was first conceptualized, like I you know, I don't want to get too into it, but I used to run with this group, and they're the ones who like kind of picked the name out for me, right? When I first like heard of it, I was like, it's all right, you know, maybe it'll grow on me and stuff. But I never fell in love with it, and especially with, you know, the things that happened with that group and stuff, and just a lot of really bad history behind it. I never
Interesting.
felt comfortable with it after that point. It just like
Oh wow.
it just every time, so like every time someone said, "Oh, hey, J. Anthony," I was just like, "Who?" You know what I mean? Like it never felt
like it's
it
tainted.
never felt
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and it just brought up so much like just bad history, I guess, you know. And I just didn't like how it looked, and I also didn't like the fact that like when you say it, it sounds like a ton of other artists' names. You know what I mean?
You know what? I can't argue with that.
J. Ant, or isn't that a rapper or
J.
something?
There's J. Ant in the Bay Area. There's J. Anthony, who is a singer, songwriter, rapper. You
Is
know.
it without the X?
Yeah, it's like J A Y.
There's different variations.
Like
I
yeah,
see.
you know.
yeah, yeah.
And it was
It's just
bad too.
common.
Like I even did like J. Dot Anthony, like with no X was the O, and there was like so many people that had that same artist name. Like
Yeah.
when I put my first project out, right, it was like
you
there's
scroll
so
through
many
all
different
the-
artists under the same name, and I was like,
It's a catchy name. We can't like, you know, any J.
Yeah,
Anthony out there.
yeah.
Like it's a cool name. It's
You know,
catchy, but
like-
it's like, you know, you want to have your own
I thought
original.
it'd be cool because that's like my full first name. Like Jeremiah Anthony is my first full name. But yeah, like especially with like the history behind that name, I was just like, I don't want to do this, as well as, you know,
Gotcha.
it didn't feel right, and it's like I felt it was too close to home, in the sense that like Jeremiah Anthony, you know, like that's my name. That's my actual name.
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted a barrier in terms of, you know, not trying to sound conceited or anything, but like I want to have
You're
a
good.
sense of anonymity, at least like a little bit, like a
Yeah.
barrier between like who I am as an artist and like who I am and when I'm not. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Like
yeah.
like it was a realization, like when I finally got the name right, like I was like, oh, I can be the most exaggerated parts about myself, and not have to worry about it like being too close to home. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Yeah.
As for the conception, the beginnings of Iraya, I actually was like, man, J. Anthony fucking sucks. And I kept complaining about it to my friend, my girlfriend, Jamie, and she was like, hey, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. And she made an Excel spreadsheet, invited a couple of other of my friends, was like, we're gonna think of a name right now.
Aww,
and just like,
that's nice.
Yeah, over the course
nice
of like a week, we were just like going through, you know, there was like, I don't know, I forgot what some of the other names were. Like one of them was like Young Fit.
Just going through all those generator names.
That was like the only one I can remember though.
Right, out of all of them.
Yeah, you know?
Dang,
like,
that's different.
yeah. And I was like,
could've went with that.
Maybe, nah. I don't think it would fit with the R&B stuff that I do.
Nah, it'd be a pretty big jump.
Finding like artist names is so difficult. It's so like
it's
finding
tough.
a podcast name.
Yeah,
is
finding a
difficult
podcast
too.
name.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I'm terrible with like names. Like I don't want to go through it right now. It's a big thing, but like I had a ton of names before J. Anthony too. Like I was going through names. I was going through names like like a teacher calling out attendance. I was just like going down the list
and saying them all wrong too.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't sad. I wasn't. Yeah, I haven't been satisfied until like today. So Iraya, my friend Jamie was the one who like helped me come to that. So she was like, "Oh hey, like how about Iraya, right? Like with an H." Because I was like, "Oh, with that." She's like, "Oh, like that's one of the names that I wanted to name my children, like my future kids." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. What does it mean?" And again, this is like really rough, and you know, but from what she told me, Iraya itself was like, it's from ancient like Tagalog, and it roughly translates to, her rough translation of it was fruit of one's hopes and dreams. As soon as I heard that, I was like,
it fits.
That's it.
Call me your child. Like I'm taking your child's name.
Dude, yes.
Yeah, there's like a super satisfying feeling when you get the one. Where it's that's the name.
And it felt right too. So yeah, it was Iraya, but then obviously you gotta do the double check. You gotta verify it, and like someone had it, but then I was just like, what if we like?
Yeah.
What if we take off the H? And we took off the H, right? And like to me, like just instantly I was like, oh, this is aesthetically pleasing. This sounds nice.
And it has the meaning.
Yeah, and it has like that meaning, which is like perfect. And it's also it's I like the fact that it's like, oh hey, it's a part of my culture, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's like one of
the
that's one of the themes like I wanted to go with for like picking out a name. You know, like I didn't want it to be like a fully like whitewashed like, oh, I'm gonna change my name to make sure it's easier to pronounce for, you know, the vast majority. Like I want my name, you know, like I want it to be a name.
And people like, if you know, it's some people look at it and say like, oh, like where do you get that name? Like, where do you come up with that? And if they don't know what it means, they'll find out. And you've opened up their minds to that,
and
if
it
anything.
like kind of sounds similar to like my name anyways, like Iraya, like Jeremiah, you know? So like
exactly.
Fits in, you know.
I kind of thought it was a variation at first of that.
Yeah.
Before
and that's that's cool.
Yeah.
Like it just happens to work out like that. And that's something like I really appreciated. One of my Christian, actually. Y'all remember Christian?
Yeah.
He's the one who like hit me up when
he streams now.
yeah. Shouts to him. Shouts to Kino.
We see him post all the time.
Yeah. He messaged me when I first made the name change, and he was like, "Hey, did you know that's like the language of like ancient like Filipino people?" And I was like Iraya itself, and I was like, "What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy." And then I got worried for a second. I was like, "Wait, am I taking the name of like a language?" Like, I mean, like, I don't want to be like, if I was an artist, I wouldn't want to be called like, oh yeah, my name is Spanish. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it would be the same. But I'm, as far as I'm concerned, you know, with my limited knowledge of my history, I guess. I think we're okay. I think we're good. I think
You're getting there.
Until
We're
someone
good.
says something, we'll roll with
Yeah. It's like,
Right.
again, fuck.
it. Well, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Something I want to ask about. Your old song, the songs that you released under your old name, are those songs
Yes.
strictly like? Do you plan to re-release those under your new name? Just like change the artwork or something, or
Yes.
or change whatever? Or
Yeah, I noticed that those weren't
Yeah.
because I checked Spotify and I remember listening to your old stuff and I checked it again today. I'm like, wait,
Yeah, I was
that
like,
old stuff's not on the new one.
oh, there's
Yeah,
a few songs.
my-
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my friend sent me. I was like, hey, where this at? I was like, well, what are you talking about? Yeah.
What do you mean?
So
J. Anthony who? Yeah.
oh, gosh. So there was another group that I ran with before that when I still had like J. Anthony as like the name, right? And we shared this like joint account that like, like
yeah,
to distribute stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was like
Oh, yeah, I'll pitch in.
distro kid. Like,
Yeah,
it was just
yeah.
like, oh, hey. Because we,
Right, like the
we were
label
a group,
one or something.
Right? We were a group.
Yeah.
I'm just like, hey,
the split. Yeah,
let's split it. It'll be cheaper because I'm starving.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
Same with like Disney Plus and Netflix. Gotta
Oh,
split
yeah.
that too.
Yeah. Like, why
we don't
not,
got that
right?
type of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, you don't think relationships crash and burn. Anyways, totally different story.
Whole other.
But yeah, shit went down. Didn't have access. So I think they stopped paying for it eventually, and which is totally fine because
I
I
see.
was planning to take down those songs anyways and re-upload them.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So for me now, it's I will re-upload them. It's just a matter of like changing the artwork a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I like got a few people to do the artwork for for those projects before, but
Yeah.
it's hard to keep in contact with people nowadays.
Do you think
Oh,
you'd
yeah,
rework
purchase.
like would the songs be exactly the same, or do you think you would add anything like like
like redo some of them?
yeah, like rework anything in there, or is it like one of those things where you're like I want to use this to capture how my artistry was back then and have it be like a timeline thing, or is it
Yeah.
like
I mean, like as much I don't know, like I never feel even with like the songs I produced recently, it's just like you always want to add something more, right? But
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea to like keep them as they were at that time.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. I feel that.
I just think it's like that's so great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, this is totally off topic, but I'm kind of relates. Like I used to be that type of guy that just like like seeing old photos of myself and I'm just like, I should delete
Dude,
that.
we've all been there.
Right?
We've all been there.
But it's
Yeah.
like, especially nowadays, because we're in a panorama or whatever, or in a pandemonium.
Or in Panama.
Like I find myself looking at old photos and I'm just like, wait, I remember taking photos of when I look like this, or or like
Yeah.
with like old friends and stuff, and I was like, this is important.
Yeah.
This
It
is
is.
important because
It's a moment in time.
exactly because as
Yeah, like the song versus a photo, it's like that song then, that was it then.
Yeah.
And you could look back and be like, whoa, like this is where I am now.
Yeah.
and it's like crazy to just like hear sometimes like I'll listen to some of the old songs I did. I'm just like, I sounded like that. Like that's weird. You know what I mean?
I feel
was
that
like,
too. I feel that too.
Yeah.
like oh,
that
like,
happens.
Like I
happened
wrote
with-
that. I sang that.
Yeah, that happened with Here in Color too a little bit. Like
Yeah?
Faith will tell me like she'll get on me sometimes for like if I like send out like the way I say her name to somebody like to promote
Yeah.
it, because I mean
Yeah.
she's happy, we're happy to promote
Yeah.
it, but she's
Yeah.
like, well, you should promote the new stuff because that's not, that was the project you guys did and you just had me sing on it, like that was
Yeah.
like, that was like
Oh,
an
so
you guys
like-
weren't a thing yet.
yeah, we were just
Yeah.
vibing, and now like we had 3 members back then and now we have 5, so it was like, but I do like that. It's interesting to when we released our EP, it was interesting to listen to all of our songs and shuffle and like listen to like the progression kind of,
Yeah.
see what's up, but that's interesting.
Here in Colors EP still gives me chills. When I was listening to Bittersweet after your playlist ended, or after your EP ended, what is it? Tell Me started playing.
Oh.
And then I was like, oh, I gotta go through the motions again. I'm not even exaggerating. I'm not even kidding.
It's an emotional roller coaster for sure.
It
like
is.
when I
but
listen
it's like
to it all the way
one
through,
you need.
for me, I really appreciate like the soundscape that y'all
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
introduced.
Appreciate
yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
Thank you.
It's distinct too.
I mean, I'm a sucker for live instrumentation.
Yeah.
And I know you guys used a lot of it in your new EP as well, but like, I just love when people experiment with it, you know, like, because it's so hard to think of like making good soundscapes.
Yeah, well, you know, especially right now because these are the first songs we've done with the new Valente and Eli, and it's interesting to like. It was kind of hard to do it because of you know, COVID and everything. We had to do it remotely, but the idea, from what I remember, and the other members might see it different, was that we wanted to do something winter, you know, because the whole goal is we wanted to do a winter EP, so that because the songs are kind of gloomy and you know they're a little hopeful. They're gloomy in the way that it's, you know, they're sad, but there's a bit of hope in them too. Kind of like same thing as winter, where it's like I actually love winter, but you know, winter like going from.
I'm about it.
Oh. What happened?
I love. Oh no, I love winter.
Oh, I thought he said I wasn't recording. I thought he was going, "Yo, cut it." Like I'm not.
We can't have winter. We can't talk about it.
Hey, stop talking about yourself, dog. Like,
it's about me. My episode. This is Jeremiah's episode.
No, please continue, please. Don't mind me.
No, but yeah, it's just different. Like messing with different, and we also had Ethan, you know, mix our stuff, and Monet actually has a cameo on our EP as well.
Yeah.
Everyone on there. Oh, speaking of which, Isaiah.
No, you're good. No, that's
Okay, I want to say, I know there's a couple people that we know that you had planned your EP, like Alejandro on trumpet and everything. And what other, like, I guess, like, who else that, like, did you have on your EP, and like how many collaborators did you have, like, and like the instruments, like, was everything like organically like recorded, you know what I mean, like who was a part of that process besides yourself? I could name, there's 4 people involved in that project, and you're referring to like me, right? Are you talking about Isaiah actually. So Alex was on in name only, and I kind of like hit him up on a whim, just because we were in like a jazz theory class together. And the funny thing is, like, I like never talked to him there. I low-key thought he was really intimidating, but I remembered when he would go up to like do stuff for the class in front of the class. I was like, damn, the guy, he's like really good at the trumpet. Pretty good. Yeah. And thankfully, like, I somehow was like able to like find his Instagram and stuff and be like, hey, remember that really quiet kid in your like jazz theory class? Dude, it's hard to believe you were the quiet kid. Well, you know, you have your moments. We all do. Yeah. I don't know. People think I am quiet, but it's more like I like to listen. Yeah. I'm more of a fan. I noticed that. Like, yeah, because I feel like. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. No, like, even now, like, I was like, damn, I'm totally down to just listen to Isaiah's like thought process about like. I'm the same way. It's like I'm the same way. People think my parents will tell him, "Oh, he's shy." I'm like, no, it's not. I'm not. You just like to listen. I want to talk. Yeah. I want to make sure that I comprehend what you're giving me. You know? Yeah. And like Jeremiah, you never seem like shy. I just think like during January choir, I think about like the progression of like at first it's just like, oh, like, you know, what's your name? Do you do music? Yeah. Oh, okay, interesting. And it's like as that goes on, it's like the goofiness layers come out, and like your true not nothing bad, but like you're like chill, more relaxed, like more like getting into the conversation, like comes up. You know what I mean? Like I think that's with most people. Yeah, like you become more like relaxed. You know, that brings me to, I think that reflects a lot on the EP actually, because you can kind of hear there's a bit of, you know, there's moments on your EP where it's, you know, there's emotional, and then there's confidence, there's some silliness, there's some lightheartedness. Your personality, I think it really shows on the EP. Like people who know you, at least like me being someone who knows you, I see the connection, like really, like it's right there. Like I understand it, especially with a lot of the lyrics and just like the ad libs and the way that the songs go. You can kind of really connect with it. So I'm so glad, because that was the goal. Like for the longest time, I've had such a big issue of just like when I was making music, it seemed so far from like who I was. You know? And it's like when I write these songs, right, I'm just like, these are like
a lot of things personal to me. So why doesn't it feel like my personality is showing through? So I'm really happy that it shines through on this one.
And I think that kind of goes in line with what you said about like changing to Araya, right? Because it's like, I don't know who has heard like songs from like when you were under J. Anthony, but like I like there is a difference, and I can't say like, oh yeah, this is more you. Of course, only you could say that, but I noticed that, like I see that, and you saying that you kind of want some separation between who you are and like your name on like publicly. It makes sense because it shows like it's like us talking to you now, and it's like we know you, and then we hear like your music, and it's not that it's not you, it's just that side of yourself that you want to display musically.
It's like a rebirth.
So I could definitely see that.
Yeah, it's like how I see it, it's like when I nowadays, at least, like when I record music, when I like make my music, I want it to be as if you got to know me really well. You know what I mean? Rather than the whole like, oh hey, Jeremiah, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Takes a couple weeks for me to warm up to you. You know, this is how I am. Like, it was funny. I was talking to someone the other day, and excuse me, like they were at the show, at the Cornerstone show, right?
Nice, yeah.
And they were telling me, they're like, it's like, wow, you're like so confident up there. Like you were, you were so hyper and everything. Like it's so much energy. Yeah. And now that I'm like here with you, you're kind of just like really laid back and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I mean, this ain't the stage, and
yeah, right.
Like,
stage is different.
We're at an Ike sandwich, so I don't know what you want me to do.
Right, just like jump on the table, sorry.
Ike sounds so good right now.
Bro, Ike does sound good. I've been thinking about that.
Okay, this is off topic. What's your Ike's order? What's your meal?
Ooh.
I've been trying a lot of like the veggie stuff. Cause I'm trying to.
Oh,
work
is it
off,
Lent?
No, I'm just trying to work off this quarantine 15. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, I've been trying a lot of the vegetarian stuff. Like today, I just tried the Maya Angelou. It was okay, but I think my favorite one, and this one's like exclusive to Vallejo. It's Mare Island, which is pretty good. It's pretty good.
What's in it?
It's I don't know what to tell you.
It's a vibe.
You just order it and eat it.
It's like vegan fried chicken, I think.
Oh,
it's like vegan fried chicken. Like
how does that work?
Valley Joe sauce.
Interesting.
And then
Joe.
something else. Yeah, Valley Joe. Yeah. That's why I wanted it. I was like, oh, Valley Joe is perfect. Great.
Yeah. Oh my god. Had to.
Yeah.
But so something I wanted to ask about was the when we talk about your confidence, was that something you've always, because again, there's some lines in the EP that they're very confident, and even in like, and what I mean by that is I'm talking about the making stacks now. Making stacks, breaking backs, that line.
Yeah.
But, and also the ad libs and stuff like that. Like, I think I can appreciate when an artist knows when to put ad lib, like, hey, like stuff like, because sometimes I think people tend to get like, oh, that's cheesy, like, oh, I don't want to do it. But there's art when you're able to put in like ad libs and little things like that, like little risks. I think it really is effective, especially when it's like you can. I don't know. It shows that you had the vision and you executed it. So, like, in terms of your musical confidence and your normal confidence, like, is that something you kind of developed recently or you've had for a while?
Yeah. So that's something I've been working on a lot. Is like I remember when I first started doing music, right? Like I would just like all I would do like would just play guitar and just sing over it. Like that's all I would do. And as I like was listening to like how other people, like, my peers were doing it and how they were creating music, I was like, what's missing? What are they doing that I'm not doing? Yeah. And like the area where I was when I first started, it was a lot of like rappers and like making trap music and stuff, which is like I'm totally fine with. And and they were doing like a bunch of ad libs and stuff, and I was like, huh, could I do that? And then eventually it grew to like, because I kind of do both, right? Like I sing and I rap also, but I realized, or I don't know, maybe this sounds like too deprecating or whatever.
Yeah, there you go.
For me, I don't really like my voice by itself.
Okay.
Like
You're not alone. Trust me.
It's tough. It's so tough. Like my voice isn't the strongest. My voice definitely
That's a
isn't
lot
the
to say.
strongest.
I beg to differ, and I think okay.
I beg
Hear me out.
to differ. I beg
I'm
to differ.
begging to differ with you.
well-
No. I mean, there's a lot of great like voices out there, but when I was listening to Bittersweet, I was like, man, like Jeremiah's voice, it's like smooth and pretty, and like it has like I don't know, for lack of better terms, but like
Well, I was
I don't
gonna
know.
say
Yeah,
like
see,
you
like,
have a
it's
good
pretty.
control of it. You have a really good control of your voice, which
You
is hard to
do.
do. Like
Oh.
I can't.
like your little runs and stuff, like they're smooth.
like you
if I
have
try to
really
do
good
that,
control of
it's
your
like
runs.
it is not the same if I do that.
No, I can't do that. The heck?
And you're over here like, oh, my voice is whatever. No, I'm just kidding.
What? Yeah, I mean, it's all relative, right? It's like all stuff that we're like,
Right, but it's
dealing
your
with.
opinion.
I
It's your
suppose.
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
like so that's what I've always had in mind for me. I'm just like, man, I don't really like it by itself. And so I turn to a lot of like layering, and it turns out that's something like I love to do and I love to hear. At least for myself. Like I'd like to think I'm an old soul, so I look to a lot of like older music for like like the music that my parents listened to for inspiration, and just I just listen to it for fun, and they have so many layers, and
Yeah, they do.
like if you break it down, like it's just just the vocals. Like the other like I was watching this video the other day with like Dr. Dre was like playing with Marvin Gaye's vocals for some reason, right? And he like isolated just the vocals for like a popular song. I forgot what the song was. And I was like, these vocals are amazing. Like these layers are crazy, and it just hides under the instrumentation. And I kind of always wanted to do that. Like I love that. Like
Interesting.
for like my own purposes of just like, oh,
Yeah.
I want to see, like I'm gonna put this in there and see if anyone notices.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
'Cause
Like
if-
it's just subtle.
Yeah.
You don't know it till you like take it away almost.
And it's
There are
like-
some things that I hear it. I'm like, oh, that's smart. That's like a little thing. I'll hear like, oh, that's clever.
Like I don't know, like
Bruh.
it's all about like the small details.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
I love, like I live for that shit.
Yeah.
In music, like if there's like one memorable part of the song, like even if it's like a small lick or like a small
Yeah.
note or whatever, like if that catches your attention, I think that just makes it so much better. Because then
All right. It'll
it-
keep you coming back to it.
yeah, and it forces you to be like, is there gonna be something else in the song,
Yeah.
like another
yeah.
detail that I can
Mhm.
find? It's like listening to music, like it should be fun and easy and stuff, but like I want it to be both in that, like it's fun, easy to listen to, but also like for those who want to find something, then
Yeah.
Exactly.
something there
That's
for
what it
you.
is.
Yeah.
um
There's a balance. There's like a line, that,
Yeah.
that you write it really well, where it's like it's catchy and it's like, it's really like a vibe, right? And then, but there's also like, if there's somebody who listens more intricately, they can hear how much work and how much of yourself is into it. Like I listened to it this past week. I've been listening to it a lot, and I've been like,
Yeah,
Jesus, that's crazy, and so, like that's awesome that
Yeah.
especially like even on like Money Woes, which
you
we'll get.
guys.
I want to go through each song, but even on Money Woes, like you
Oh,
got
sure.
the phone call, you got the
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna mention that too.
I said I'll get to it or something like that. I'm like that's it. Normally phone calls are hard to make work, and like usually you put them in the beginning of a song or something where there's nothing.
Yeah.
But that works super well, like in that area where there's already a ton of stuff going on. It like it cuts through perfectly, which is like I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like a
Yeah,
perfect sample.
So like fun little thing about that, I guess, like when I asked Danny Ali, right, like the feature on Money Woes
Yeah.
to do that, like one, shout outs to him, he is fucking amazing, and he's like he's a great friend of mine, and we both hail from the same hometown, so shout out South
nice,
City.
nice.
When I asked him, I hit him up, I was like, yo, there's this track, like you have to be on it. And like usually I don't give like people I like feature like directions other than, oh hey, this is the song, and also like
Yeah, I gotcha.
this is what it's
Yeah.
gonna be about, right? But what I had in my mind specifically, I was like I told him, I was like, hey, can you do like a phone call like right before your verse starts, like you're in an argument or something, like could you just do that, like that'd be wonderful. And he just like bet. And then he did that. And I was like, that's exactly how I wanted it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
That's perfect.
I always think that's the coolest thing. Like when rappers do that shit, it's like, oh, hey.
It comes off really well. not everyone can pull it off, but it
Shouts to Daniel Lee. Like he did that shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's dope. I love when, when people are, it's funny trying to explain to someone if you want something super specific, like
right.
not to bring up my thing, but with Ruby on Organ Song, same thing. I called her and I was like,
man,
I actually didn't ask her. I got the sample because a while ago I was in a group chat with her.
It's like a year ago.
Yeah, Monet was in the group chat and I was like, can you just send me a
year ago?
Send me a voice recording of you just making it sound like you're talking to somebody. And it wasn't even for a song. It was like a random thing. I was just being bored because it was pandemic. And which is crazy to say. It's been a year. But yeah, so she sent me that and then I was like, wait a minute. I can make this sound. This might work. Sometimes it just works. Sometimes sometimes it just works out and it fits. So
thinking about that, it gives me chills. I just have to say, now that you've mentioned that, like, I just remember you messaging in the group chat saying like, hey, someone do voice memo.
But like, yeah.
Now it's your like EP promo. Like, it's just, and when you get the right person, like feature or whatever, and you say like, hey, just do this, and they take it and run with it. Yeah. That's when it usually get like the best stuff. They like
even
like they just put their own spin on it.
Even on Money Woes, because you asked me to play that little solo at the end.
Yeah.
And I was like, when you were telling me like, oh, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm like telling you too much. I completely understood because I was like, I do the same thing.
You want it to be right.
Yeah, because he was like, oh, can you try like this? And I was like, all right, and I did, and then I was all right, okay. And then and I was like, I totally, and he was like, all right, and I was like, all right.
I felt bad because like. Yeah, when I like first got Isaiah to be on it, right? I was like, "Hey, can you just do a solo?" And then he like did this like amazing shredding and stuff, right? And I was like, but it don't fit though.
Man, like it's good, but it's not.
Like dumb it down. Let's dumb it down. Not like that, but like make it simpler. Make it simpler. And then I was like, "Oh, sorry, make it shorter." And I was like, "Is he?"
No, I'm happy with the one that came out.
Yeah, I know, but I was worried. I was like, yo, is this long enough for him? Like, would he be okay with it?
It's fine though, because it's like it's your EP, like it's yours, like it's you want it to sound right.
But like, I just think less is more, and at least like for that song, it just totally fits with like because that where that guitar solo hits, like that's kind of like the climax of everything, at least in my opinion, how I tried to orchestrate it. So
so let's do this. Let's go through each song on the EP because I have some questions.
I'm
questions.
excited.
One of these actually pertains. One of them pertains to this song. Two of them actually. First one says, okay, well this isn't in any order, but this one says. So track 1 is Money Woes, as you know. It says, what inspired Money Woes on his new EP? That's the first question, fan question.
Oh, funny thing about Money Woes, that was actually the last song that I wrote.
Oh, yeah. And how recently was this? When did you finish writing the EP?
Well, the EP was supposed to be, honestly, the EP was done last year around like September-ish. It was just a matter of like, getting in touch with the engineer and making sure that's all right. But yeah, I wrote Money Woes around like winter of last year, like like near like the holidays. Yeah, near the holidays of last year.
2020.
Oh, sorry.
During Pandy or not Pandy?
Oh, all these songs were written during the pandemic.
Okay.
Wow, dude, that's so fast. Because your album came out February.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's like crazy. A third of the time it takes.
That's unreal.
For like me. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. I write fast, so I have like I have a catalog of stuff. But just because I write a lot doesn't mean like they're all bangers. Like. There's a lot of stuff I don't show you guys.
Oh man,
so
let's put out the best. But Money Woes is doing really well on Spotify. That's by the way, I did not notice that until today.
It's number one, right?
I was like
number one. Yeah. It's almost at 7,000 plays. I'm sorry, not to be like that person, but like
I'm excited about it.
Like all of your songs deserve that recognition, and to see like one of them like doing like so well, like that's crazy. That's awesome.
I was kind of surprised how well it's been doing, but also like. I don't know. For me, not to sound cocky, whatever, I'm just like, fuck, finally.
Right, like
Yeah,
I'm waiting for this.
At least like for like Money Woes, like that's like for me that was the moment I was like, this is the sound that I want.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when I was like
Yes.
done, like I didn't release anything yet, right? I was just like, this is cool. Like this is the sound that I want. Like it has a lot of elements of like old school shit, right? But with like a
does,
modern
yeah.
twist, and like I feel like that's just how I am.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm an
Yeah.
old soul in that, because like I like, you know, 70 different chords or whatever, but also I do like me some Lil Uzi Vert or like some Future or something.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
little mix. Yeah, mix it up. Yeah, and I can see that. I can see that in your music,
So-
kind of like the old little.
But sorry,
pinch of old stuff.
I guess like to keep going with the that question, answering that question. I just, you know, like I was broke. I'm still kind of broke, even with the stimmy, you know. But the stimmy isn't for, you know, commercial purposes.
Stimulus check for those who don't know.
Sorry,
I'm sure everyone knows, but just in case, I'm always that person that doesn't know
no,
what
it's
people
good.
are talking
It's good.
about.
Oh,
Yeah.
I probably should talk too casual, I guess.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine.
You know, yeah, just like in the pandemic, like I felt bad. I felt terrible because
Yeah.
yo, my family, thank God, like, you know, I'm lucky enough to be surrounded by them and to be supported by them, and that, like, you know, they're fine. We're lucky that we're fine in terms of like financial income. But for me, I'm just like, damn, like I can't teach, I can't do whatever, you know, like, and even if I could, like, I don't know if I want to, because I don't, my mom's in healthcare, so like I wouldn't want to put her at risk. And just
Right.
like, you know, the feeling of not being able to provide
Yeah.
really took a toll
scary
on
feeling.
me. Yeah, right. I mean, you know, we encounter a lot as musicians,
Yeah.
but even more so when it's like your side hustle is like gone. And I was just like, damn, this fucking sucks. It got really bad.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, you know what? Let's like make it like a tongue-in-cheek song about it. You know, like sometimes you just can't be too serious.
Yeah, I feel that.
And so
yeah.
I don't know, like I hope at the very least, like, it's just like, oh, like this is cool, kind of playful, but also at least with what I've written in there is like there's some real shit in there. You know, and that's kind of what I want it to be, because I feel like when you rap about money, or when you make a song about money, it has to be very tasteful, because otherwise it could come off like really corny. And that's the last thing I want.
Because so many songs are
Right?
about money.
This one's very
Trust me,
poetic.
you did not do that.
The lyrics on this song are
It
very poetic.
is. It is.
And this, at least I was gonna ask you, like, who are some of your inspirations on the EP? Because I get a ton of, you know, I have my list of who I think, but I'm curious who you know drew from on, especially like on this EP, and like your flow and stuff like that.
Well, this one might be pretty obvious, but like Anderson .Paak, huge inspiration for sure. Like, because he does the thing where like he's mixing old with new, and I love that.
Yeah.
I fucking love that, and he's like
Very
a
popular
musician
nowadays.
He's a musician.
Yeah.
He's an artist. I love that.
Yeah.
Not to downplay others, but yeah. Childish Gambino, Frank Ocean, Brett Fayez, Brett Fayez, Ari Lennox. Ari Lennox was a huge one. Yeah, I guess kind of just like a lot of modern R&B.
Yeah.
Also, like I was listening to a lot of like mid 2000s like hip hop. You know,
Ooh, the good stuff.
which like
yes,
you could
it's all
probably,
good stuff, but like
yeah,
the hits.
like mid 2000s hip hop, like some of the, when they first started merging like R&B and hip hop together. Oh, well, that was like kind of in the 90s, but like 90s, like 2000s, like R&B and hip hop. Like I listened to a lot of that.
Yes, yeah.
And that kind of, you know, the whole like Ja Rule, like Ashanti thing, like that was cool. Like, yeah, I don't know. I can't really name all of them right now, right off the bat. Oh, Marvin Gaye. Oh, D'Angelo.
Hey, you named
Definitely
quite a few.
D'Angelo.
I'm
Definitely D'Angelo. Well, that's
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Angelo, for sure.
I'm gonna change my battery real quick. I
Mhm.
don't know what's gonna happen, but it might pause. So give me 1 second.
Yeah, for sure.
Battery.
You're good,
This
you're
is breaking the fourth wall here.
Sorry if I'm
shouldn't
hella
change
going
that.
off topic, by the way. I
Dude.
know.
No, it's
No,
going good.
you're our
going good.
guest. You're doing perfectly fine. No, don't even
Monet,
worry.
should I turn the camera off before I take the battery out?
Absolutely, because if you take out the battery, the camera will shut off by itself.
Okay.
But you need to turn it off first.
Yeah, it's probably,
What if I'm
probably a
lazy?
good idea to do that.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we still hear you. Did you wanna?
Did you want
ask
to do
about
the nude
four-
part now?
No, no.
Oh yeah, actually, now that you
I mean,
mention
we're right
it,
around that time. We can get to that. Sounds about right.
that's why I got this like other light, you know, so little
Right, it's nice.
set the mood,
Perfect angle.
set the mood for it.
Right.
Hey, Monet, how's your battery doing? You good?
It's still good.
Alright,
I
dope.
have the other one charging still. Well, now that you're doing that.
Okay.
Oh my God,
How's
you-
your like
actually-
how's your like recording, like the storage? Everyone's storage is good and all that. Mine's going for like 17,000 bars right now. Like
Audacity's still going. It's
Oh
at-
yeah, I'm pushing 1,600 bars right now, so we're chilling. Yes, sir.
Yeah, hold on one sec.
Make this the whole EP, the next EP.
Okay, what's going on? Hold on.
By the way, you guys are so fun to talk to. And talk
Hey, you
with.
are too. Thank
Dude,
you.
you're fun to talk
You guys
to.
are so fun.
It's fun hearing you talk.
We
I
wanted to
think.
make sure we had a guest that we could vibe with as
I
our
miss
first.
you guys. I wish we could hang out in person. Fuck.
Dude, I wish we could have, because after like winter choir,
Yeah.
it was just like, done. Like classes, okay.
Yeah.
And done. People are like, oh, we can all hang out sometime soon, but
Yeah.
oh no, we had the little,
The kickback.
you know,
Yeah.
after our last, you know, we kind of hung out. Still have pictures from that.
Well, I don't know. Like,
That's fun.
I was hoping we'd hang out more like casually, I guess. You know, but
Yeah, not like, hey, everyone.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know,
So
one day.
all right, we're good. We're getting back into it, and okay, cool. What was the last thing we were saying? Oh, so this is what I wanted to say. I hear, and this is what I hear. I hear a lot of Mac Miller on this song, on this EP.
Oh my god, I can't believe
It's like the number
Yeah.
one artist I hear on this EP because it's
Really?
not to it's I hear that the most because the only reason I say that is because your flow reminds me a little bit of his in the way that he used to do a kind of like a lazy kind of rap where it's like
Yeah.
it's kind of like but it's
Yeah.
still it's not like mumble rap where it's like
Yeah.
it's lazy but it's like poetic and I hear that a lot especially on maybe on some of the later songs maybe not so much on this one but on like some of the later songs on the EP I definitely hear a lot of Mac Miller vibes and a lot of like
Exhaustion.
yeah you know.
It's my
Yeah.
favorite one, by the way.
But yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me see. Was there another question
That's
about?
such a huge compliment. I love Mac.
Yeah, we're
Miller.
going down the I think we're going down the songs. Isaiah,
have-
which is your favorite song, by the way? On the,
Well,
on the, or
I'm
favorites,
biased
rather.
because I like Money Woes because you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
That's
But
one of my
no,
favorites too.
more recently, just because I've gotten used to Money, I've heard it longer because it's been out longer. I like In Name Only is really a great song. That the last song, that's a great song.
the trumpet's such a nice.
the trumpet's out a
Trumpets
lot.
are
Nice touch.
But
amazing.
Monet, what's your favorites?
Shout out to Alex.
Oof. Exhaustion. Okay, first of all, I like all the songs. Okay, but then like okay,
You're like
every
I'm
time I
making
hear
blush right now. I feel.
because like okay, you know how when you listen to an artist for the first time and it's like not for the first time, you listen to like a release for the first time, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you're like, okay, like all right, but all of your songs are catchy, and I'm not saying this because I'm talking to you right now. Like I swear, like they're all really catchy, and so each one that comes on, I'm like, okay, and, like Exhaustion. That's the one that like that's always like the first one. I'm just like, okay, let me get into it, and then Forlorn. Oh, that the sass. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thanks. I don't know what to say. I don't know what you guys want me to say.
Hey, no,
say
you're
it.
good.
Thank you. Just
And then
thank
in name
you.
only, the trumpets do get it. I think it's like a nice last song. Like you
Yeah.
know, it's kind of like a. Okay, we're good. We're chilling. We got a cool sound going.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Sounds like maybe like a Saturday afternoon.
oh, I get it because it's Saturday. and
in a
it's
good way. In a good way.
Well, with that, let's go to the next song on the EP, which is
Way after.
is Forlorn, which is one you just said one of your favorites. Who let me see something really quick. So yeah, what was the process of this one like? Because this one's way more like. This one's way more like I don't know nightclub
Like
like.
upbeat. Yeah. So
when
the
I listen to it, I
vision-
make that face. I make
There's
that
a lot. Yeah.
you know that
Yeah, the-
musician face.
the vision that I had when I was like thinking about it, like I really wanted yeah, like more of an upbeat song, because at that point a lot of my catalog or whatever is like really chill, like simpy music. So I definitely
That's
wanted
okay.
something more upbeat, and I wanted something more I don't know, like this one's like for real like 2000s ish R&B to me, like the old
Yeah, for
school,
sure.
well,
Yeah.
our old school R&B, you know, like Usher and you know, like Chris Brown and Neo, I
Our
guess.
old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could say that now.
Yeah. So
There I go.
oh disappeared.
Keep going. You're good. You're good.
Follow me into the darkness.
This camera stuff, guys.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Oh, just what was the process like? You know what?
Yeah. So funny thing about this song in particular, actually, like, I made the beat years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I made just like the general, like, the general.
Oh, he's got it. He's got
Oh,
it.
is that the same one you used on it?
I actually didn't ever play guitar.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, so that one.
Yeah.
You guys just got a free performance right there.
Stop.
Keep going. No,
I made that beat years ago, and I actually had that hook for the longest time. I just like never really knew how to like finish it, I guess. But when I was like putting this EP together, you know, I was like kind of like going through like old stuff, right? And when I found this, I was like, oh, why have I never used this before? And when I brought it back, I was like, I definitely when I was like first making the song, like years ago, right? Years prior. And y'all know Devon. For those who don't know, Devon is also
Devon.
12
Got a
rounds.
beautiful voice, Devon.
12 rounds. I've known him for a minute, and you know, it was one of those things between me and him. It's like, oh yeah, bro, we should collab, and we like never did it until like fairly recently.
Yeah.
But when I was making that
really?
beat,
It's surprising that like it happened now. Like I feel
Of all
like that's
times,
like
yeah, right,
destined
like,
to happen.
It's
you guys.
It's just
yeah.
because we just like we hang out and we just like chill, or like I don't know.
You guys have great chemistry.
He is so funny.
You have really great chemistry.
so,
like in real life.
Like
He's awesome, dude.
he is such a oh my god. His energy is
Very
crazy.
wholesome.
Devon, he was in your he was in your band, right?
Yes,
He was a member
yes,
of like your
yes.
live thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys built a big chemistry through that,
amazing.
probably.
I mean, even
He's great.
honestly, like even just meeting him and just like the funny thing was like we didn't start hanging out until I put the band together.
And
from
when did you
there,
put the band together? You said again? How
when I
long
got the
ago?
Google gig.
Oh, okay,
That's right, because
okay,
like the
okay. I
Google
see.
gig at that point was like 2 months. Like when I got the email, so like, hey, you want to do Google? And I was like, bet. The gig was 2 months from then, and so like I like rushed and I got a bunch of people together. Fun fact: they didn't know anything. They didn't know each other. The only person they knew was me. And within 2 months,
Really? So they're just everyone's strangers.
yeah. And then within
the
2
one
months,
mutual.
I like got this like
Yeah.
set, and we're just like, fuck it. Hey, by the way, there's like 2 more gigs after this, so hope y'all are ready for that.
Right, like everyone has to stay together.
Anyways, like, getting off track. What was it? Oh, 12 rounds. Yeah, 12 rounds. Shout 12 rounds. Shouts to you, 12. I knew I needed him on this for sure. And it was
Oh,
a
yeah.
it was a perfect choice because, I mean, you know, not to make it a competition or anything, but when because I only had the hook at this point. I had the beat and I had the hook. And I sent it to him. He sent me back his verse. As soon as I heard it, I was like, fuck.
Like, oh, I gotta
Fuck.
step it up.
I feel why like I'm getting murdered on my own track.
Yeah, right.
I didn't have my verse written, right? And I felt bad because like usually when I collaborate with people, right, I love to collaborate with people that I like low-key have competition with, like, you know, like fun little friendly competition.
Yeah.
Just because I know they just make me better. But like with
Right.
how good Devon sounded on this track, like I was like, I couldn't come up with anything. And like, sorry to, you know, people who happen to like my verse on Forlorn, but I that was like the best I could do. And like, I know them. Compared to Devon's, I just
Dude, and hey, that's I mean, someone else might think differently too. I mean, I don't. I think both verses are awesome, but also that's like the point of having a feature, right? Like you want them to stand out.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah,
and you
I don't want them to.
You
like,
want them.
Yeah, exactly. I want them to look good. I don't want them to be like.
You want them to only call when it's convenient. I've been trying to work that in there for the whole.
All right. Well,
the past.
Have a good night, everybody. So good to be on this flooded podcast, whatever.
The flooded,
I quit podcast, guys. I think I've just been fired. I don't even get paid. We're done. No more guests.
Wow, that was good. That was
Had
good.
to do it. Had to do it.
That was good. I wonder where you got that line from. I have no clue. But yeah, that's actually one of my favorite songs to have produced. I also wanted to try like strings.
Yes.
Yeah. So I had the beat written for that, and then I put the strings in. I came up with the strings a long time later, and that was actually recently. If y'all notice, I also had one of my friends speak Spanish in the intro.
I did notice that.
I know. I kind of put it under everything.
What the heck?
Yeah. I had a friend.
Monet doesn't even know.
Oh, I can't listen to it now. I know I'm a fake fan. Sorry. I only know the one line. That's it.
As soon as you listen to that line, you just turn the music off. You're just like, ah.
Right, I'm like, oh, that's all I needed.
She said, the song changed.
Like, what happened? Why was it different?
And for those who knew me as J. Anthony, Mia, who sang on Eve with me, or one of my previous tracks, that was a person who did the phone call for the intro.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
I kind of did the same thing that you did, Isaiah. I just hit her up. I was like, hey, could you just say something, but in Spanish?
Yeah.
And we had to work out a script and everything. It actually took a long process to do, but it was fun. Shouts Mia.
Yeah, that's good.
Shouts Mia.
How's she doing?
She's chilling. I don't know. I don't know.
Right now.
She's
right at
watching this. Duh. I'm just kidding.
Hi Mia. We hope you're doing well.
Shouts to Mia. Shouts to her.
I feel bad. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to do something with strings. I just wanted to feel old. That's it.
Strings are so effective. They often come. I feel like they often come after.
Yeah.
Strings because it's often an afterthought. I feel like it's oh, this could be nice. It's missing something, but then you add it, and it's oh, I could get away with this. It
was my first time playing with strings.
You're that's really nice.
So I hope that it came off well. Dude, I'm glad because someone pointed out. It's oh, hey, that intro with all the strings, that's what's up. I'm I don't know anything about orchestra, so I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'm glad I could trick people.
I think strings are awesome.
Thank you, y'all.
Right.
Hold on, my dog's barking. I need to take a time thing. Hold on. Okay, he stopped.
Nice.
Okay, let's go to the third one. Actually, I think it's time for another fan question.
Okay.
Perfect.
Monet, do you want to read this one? Did I even send you it? Do you want to read the one?
I don't think you did.
Let me text you this. Sorry, this is very unprofessional of me. I didn't communicate with my co-host. Cool. I'm sending it right now. Sorry to the fans. Sorry to the guests.
Step it up.
Okay, I sent it. It's sent. If you guys here's Monet's phone number. You guys can send her your own questions. She will answer.
Okay. Yeah, send out my phone number.
Yeah.
Anyone can call anytime.
Yeah.
I'll send my address too.
Did they come?
She's especially active at 3:42 a.m.
A.m. In the a.m.
In the a.m.
Here's the thing. She actually is. That's the thing. You're not even. She's up at till.
Are you a night owl?
That's kind of true.
You're a night owl.
Okay, the thing is, my phone's on Do Not Disturb a lot of the time. So from 10 a.m. to 12, I'll be I'll respond later. And then I finish everything, and then it's 3. I'm okay, I'll text back.
She'll respond to my text at 3 in the morning, and I'll be asleep, and I'll be I'm so sorry, I missed your text.
It'll be 3 a.m. and maybe 6 p.m.
Yeah.
It'll twice a day. Twice out of the day.
I'm not a night owl like that. I can't. I'm a morning type. I like the morning.
Ugh, can't relate. I'm sorry.
You're a night owl too?
Yeah.
Wow. Whatever, I guess.
I just don't like the light. That's just me.
Monet, you read whichever one you feel fit. I think you should read the
Okay.
one. Read both, because I think one of them he might be able to answer. This one's a little bit less music related.
No, it's cool. Or whatever. I'm down.
All right.
People are curious.
Out of these, we're gonna rank these. All right, you ready?
Okay.
Because one of them we already asked.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We already Okay, I got you. Rank, Stomp the Yard, Drumline, and Roll Bounce.
Stomp the Yard. Was it Stomp the Yard, Drumline, and Roll Bounce?
Drumline. Yeah.
Wow, these are like
I've seen like one of these movies.
I've seen one of these movies as well.
I've never seen Roll Bounce, so that one's last.
Okay.
But between the two, between Stomp the Yard and Drumline, Stomp the Yard and then Drumline. And then Roll Bounce.
Stomp the Yard is one.
One, yeah. One drum.
Okay.
Yeah. Stomp the Yard, Drumline, Roll Bounce.
I haven't seen Stomp the Yard. It's like, isn't it like Drumline but with a different instrument or something?
They step.
That's what I
they're
thought. That's
dancers.
what it sounds like.
Kind of, but
sororities or
it's
fraternities.
like step. Like it's a
stepping.
different kind of dance.
It's its own
It's
thing.
really intense.
Me and
for like
Isaiah.
no reason.
Me and Isaiah, having been in drumlines, have only seen drumline.
Yeah, on the bus.
Or the band nerds.
The bus going to LA, they would play that on the
All the
thing,
time?
Like,
That's
okay,
fun.
Oh, that's perfect.
The fourth time I've seen
perfect.
it, fourth trip I've been on. But yeah, the movie's all right, pretty good. I mean, I don't know, it's pretty intense. I'll say.
That is a random
Monet, you might as well
Yeah.
read the second question because I think he should answer that one.
It's just a
Oh,
random
okay.
question.
So, what like the
The other one, yeah.
other one? Okay. A question from our fellow friend. She wants to know how you are so beautiful.
Tips.
You may not be able to answer that question.
Or you could say, if
You think I'm
How's your
beautiful?
beauty
You could explain
Wow, I'm
your
so-
your DNA, like your
Explain
genes
my
to a T if
DNA?
you want,
X, Y, Y, V.
or you could just acknowledge and accept.
Thank you. Thank you for thinking I'm
Aw.
beautiful. I don't know how to respond to that. Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, oh, I don't know. I eat bananas. Like, I eat
Even in his
vegetables.
throw on an ace cap. Boom.
Yeah,
That's
like,
the secret.
I don't know.
Bananas sound good too.
I
You exfoliate.
don't know.
Exfoliate.
It's because
Hey,
I'm
that's
friends
all
with
you gotta say.
whoever asked the question because we're friends.
Aww.
Ah. Ooh, turn around.
I think she'll appreciate that.
she'll All right. After that, let's go to the third question now. Let's go third song rather. This is another Monet favorite.
Aw. They're all my favorites.
They're all my favorites.
plot twist. Actually,
Exhaustion. So Monet, what drew you to this song specifically? Like I'm curious
Okay.
what you were, and then I want to ask Iraya. Monet, what was his process?
wait. What are you asking? Wait, did you ask me what his process was?
Yeah. How did he
In
write this
creating the
damn
song?
ass song? That's what I want to know. No.
So
I
he
wanna
was
know,
up
yeah.
at 3 a.m. No,
How-
he was exhausted, and then he pulled out his guitar.
really? We'll make just like
That's
that.
it. That's it. Yeah. That's exactly what happened. I was there. Peeking through the window. No, I'm just kidding. Oh. But yeah, okay, what I like about the song is, of course, it's the most acoustic sounding one out of all of them. It's most stripped down from what I can hear. And it's catchy.
Very catchy.
Like it's really catchy. Like it's so simple, but then okay. Tell us
you
what
won't
your
say
process
it?
was
Oh, you won't
before I
sing the line?
start before I start shaming your music by reiterating.
I'm down to hear it. What? What's it?
No free shows here. I'm just kidding.
Okay, well,
I'd like to know where your lyrical intent came from this song.
so
lyrical
ironically,
background.
I wasn't exhausted. It kind of
You're
came
lying.
one
I'm
night
sorry.
where I like had this huge writer's block, but I knew like I had like something in me was telling me to like create something. Like you gotta just like at least try, right?
Yeah.
And don't let just like I'm not
Yeah.
feeling the vibes like ruin it.
Yeah.
Like I just couldn't come up with anything. So I kind of just did the most, like, my go-to chord progression for stuff, you know, and just like maybe move from there. And so I just looped this. Well, I literally just looped this.
Yeah.
I just looped that for like hours, right? And I kind of just freestyled, and what came out was just the exhaustion, get real tired of the shit I've been making, you know, like, and it just piece by piece, like, yeah, I started off with like the hook first, like, it just, yeah, and it, you know, came out like that. I don't know. I think in the around the same period of time, I felt for sure that, like, so I wrote this in 2020, right? I'm like all over the place. And one of my goals for 2020, before, you know, everything went so wonderfully well for the world, I decided that I wanted to be active. I want to be assertive. I'm usually a reactive person, right? But I realize, like, for the things that I want to do, the things I want to happen, I need to go and get them myself. So I wanted to, yeah, just like have a more assertive outlook on things, right? In like any capacity, whether it's like, oh, hey, love life, fuck it, dude, like, just go for it, you know, like, opportunities, work, money, anything. And a lot of my music is reactive. It's just me. Oh, bye, Isaiah. A lot of my music is reactive in terms of just like, oh, hey, this is what you did to me. This is how I feel about it.
Right.
And so I wanted to take a different approach for sure. Like, as soon as that kind of came out of me, it was just like the whole exhaustion, get real tired of the shit. I realized, like, I was getting tired of being so reactive. And I was tired of, like, not getting the opportunities that I wanted. And, like, you know, like, I don't want to be seen as just, like, this guy that just, like, simps all the time, because I mean, I am, but also
we all are.
Just like anyone else, you know, like, I wanted to be seen as multifaceted, because we're all multifaceted, you know, like, we're not all one-dimensional. And I wanted to write a song that was just like, hey, like, I'm low-key toxic as fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just like a fun, totally not serious, but also, like, I could be serious if I really wanted to. That kind of thing. Just like letting people know, like, hey, I'm not exactly who you think I am. But, like, you know, I could do this.
But, like, it's whatever.
I'm like, capable of being such.
That's an interesting contrast too, because this song having so much to do with yourself also has the least, like, it's the most minimal. Yeah. It's just, and I like that. I like that because, you know, I feel like every EP or album could benefit from having a minimal, just guitar vocal song, because it shows that you can hold your own without having all that stuff, right? And it's the most vulnerable. Like, it's the most, you know, it's just you and your guitar, right? So, I like how this song is it's very raw, and it feels kind of like you're just talking to because it's also, you know, it's not like a standard, like, you know, it has its repeats, but it's not like a, you know, verse chorus, you know, it's like, it's just kind of like you're just vibing out like a jam session. And I like that because it's also hard to, like, at least with R&B music, which is something I'm not all that familiar with writing in, is that, like, it's not really like about what should I say? The syllables that you have that you put in the song, they flow so well, and it doesn't seem like there's any, like, it feels like it's so flowing, like it just comes out, and there's no, like, struggle with trying to find things that are, like, rhyme with each other. So, like, the lyrics are super well written, and that song is very just, I feel like it's intimate. I think that's a good, like, way to put it for me. Intimate. So
yeah, and I was thinking about how like you said, like, you were kind of just, like, trying to ad-lib on top of, like, the riff you came up with, and I feel like that, like, it sounds like something that came off the tongue so easily, like the main, like, hook, you know? Like, it just sounds like, I'm not saying, like, it sounds like, oh, he went with the first thing he came up with. I mean, it sounds like, oh, like, this is just like I wrote, I just wrote a song and it came out like this and it happened to be really good. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I
like
totally understand.
Okay, good. I'm trying not to make it sound bad, but like
it's pent up emotion.
like just like this is how I feel. Like if someone asked you to get up on a mic and then you just came up with something on the spot and it just turned out to be.
I mean that's kind of how it was. Like honestly, I don't know. Like
yeah.
I actually have like a studio version where like there's like a bunch of layers and stuff and
like more. There's more to it.
Yeah, but like
okay. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I realized like because this is kind of like where I started. Like at least like that minimalistic. Like I used to do like open mics, like just me and my guitar. Like that's how I would record stuff, and that's generally how I thought I was gonna progress as an artist. Like just me and a guitar. So for me, this was like a callback to, oh hey, this is like how it used to be like. But also it's different now because how I wrote Exhaustion, that's not how I write anymore. So it's like a mixture of both worlds and stuff. So I don't know.
Little peek into the old world a little bit.
Yeah.
Like a callback to your roots kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh,
I'm trying to find the other questions that Monet sent.
It's just fun to, I don't know.
Oh, I got you.
It's fun to just flex sometimes. Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
This is that.
You saying like.
This is that.
It's funny to just have like a song where it's just you speaking. Just you speaking to the audience.
Just talk. It's kind of like a podcast almost. Oh my god.
What do you know?
You should make that song into a podcast.
Make this podcast into a song.
Wow, podcast into a song? Yeah.
Oh. So, did you want to have another fan question real quick before we go into With Me? Or do you want to... Is it...
You asking me or him?
Asking whoever wants to answer.
I think you should answer. Which question?
The
one about your friend? The one that you said you can't say on air?
No.
What?
Unless you want to ask that question.
No,
I won't ask that question. I think we gotta get I think we can
we got two more songs left.
So mysterious.
Glaze over that, yeah.
What's the deal? Hold on. Yeah. All right, hold on. You can't just bring it up now.
She's got a question that she doesn't want to say on air because
I do have another question I will ask, and it is from our friend Eli, and he wants to know what your favorite song was to work on the EP.
Was that the question? I feel like that wasn't the question.
That wasn't the question that we were trying to keep kind of on the down low, but
I'm not gonna let it go, by the way.
Question.
But sure, fine. I'll. Because it got me. I'm curious. I'm a naturally curious person.
That'll be the after hours.
Okay, sure. Is it really inappropriate?
As you should be.
Never mind.
It's appropriate.
My favorite song to work on for the EP. They all. I don't know that they're all very different experiences. Because honestly, a lot of these songs like came out of like me trying to get out of my depressive state in the pandemic, the pandemonium, panoramic view, whatever. So a lot of it was very just like coming out of that. I think the most fun was definitely In Name Only. Not to say that other experiences weren't as fun, but yeah, like working on that song, I remember I like was on a FaceTime call with Alex, and despite having not talked to each other in like jazz theory class, I had so much fun talking to that guy, and just like we were just vibing so well of just like, hey, like I think this would sound great. And it was so nice. I felt like we were on the same page on a lot of things when it came to, stuff that I wanted and then stuff that he was like willing to do. It was just so nice because like I didn't have to say too much. I have a tendency to like over explain things, right? Because I'm worried that like people may not get it. But with him, it was easy and it was fun. It was so funny, and we just talked about like a ton of different things. And I was just so happy with how that turned out, because I feel like honestly like the trumpets in that are such a huge part, I think, of why I don't know, from what people tell me, like it's like the song they like to listen to the most.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's almost like
sorry, go
it
ahead.
almost feels like rejoiceful in a way.
Yeah,
Like just the sound alone.
it's like
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
how
know,
feel,
like
at
I like
least.
the fact that it accents the verses so well. You know, like
Mhm.
I again
Yeah.
I gave him like very minimal directions. I was kind of just like, hey, I like D'Angelo, and he was like, bet. and
all
we
I
just
need.
talked about it, and I was
Boom.
just like, I like had some ideas, you know, where I was just like, hey, I would just sing the melody to him. I was like, hey, or
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the
And
melody
it's
is for
like-
Your Name Only, but I can't
Drone
remember at the
song, come
moment.
on.
Can't remember
Nah.
at the moment.
It's cool because like they accent it really well without it being like exact. You know, it's not just
Yeah.
like, okay, I'll just repeat
Yeah.
the verse or the melody. Like it's like reprises it.
And
in,
it
like,
just
a really,
it complements like
distinct
the
way.
way he did it. Like it
Exactly,
complements so
complements it.
well. Like it doesn't get in the way because I throw a lot of words in that one. I think I have the most words for that song for sure, and it just fills that empty space so well.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah, that was
That song, yeah, I was telling him, Jeremiah, earlier that song reminds me of Clarity by John Mayer, which is my favorite John Mayer song. But just because the trumpet tone on that song, it's only in the beginning of the John Mayer song, but it's so similar, and not the whole song that reminds me, but that intro. And then the verse is where actually I got the Mac Miller thing from. That's where I hear it a lot in this song.
Yeah, I could see that.
And the flow is just, it's perfect. The flow works so well, and the lyrics are even more like intricate. Like there was one where I wrote it down that I was like, how did he put this together? How did he write it? Where is it? You say huddled up oh my god, huddled up, inconspicuous, monogamous, promiscuous. The problem is it's written in the heart of another. I was like, Jesus, that's like, how do you say that in rhythm? Like that's insane.
I've had so many problems with that, honestly.
That takes so
I get
much
tongue tied
effort
so bad at that part.
and
Honestly,
talent.
That part's insane.
it took me so long to do that. Thank you though.
And then the lyrics are just all around. And there's the other part that I was telling Monet that it reminds me of. I didn't know what the chorus was saying at first because I was just like I hadn't listened to lyrics like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was telling Monet, it sounds like you're saying her name in the song. If you listen to it, he goes,
Oh my god,
what is
this
it?
song's actually about me, guys.
I'm in love. What is the line? I'm in love with you in name only, right?
Oh,
That's the line.
I'm in love in name only.
Sounds like you're saying, I'm in love with your name, Monet. And
Is there something you'd like to tell me? No, I'm just kidding.
He's in love with her name.
You can interpret the song however you want, you know?
Well, that's
like,
how we're going to
that's
interpret it.
My interpretation, the song is about me.
Death of the author, is that what it's
in
called?
name only.
You know, like,
I'm just kidding.
once I put it out there,
Okay.
my original intent doesn't matter anymore. It's how you
Right,
guys
right.
feel, you know?
It's all ours now. No, I didn't even notice that until Isaiah pointed it out.
That's hella funny.
I didn't notice it until like a couple hours ago.
I'm in love with your name, Monet.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
See, now that's in my head, I'm just worried the next time I
you're
like perform
stuck.
that live, it's just gonna happen.
you're going to
And
sing
I'll,
it
like-
just like
people are gonna be like, "Who's Monet?"
Yeah, you'll see me with my face. You're like, what did I just say?
You'd be like, "Wait,
Where did this come
over.
from?
right." Blame Isaiah. No, I was kidding.
Oh
No,
my
this
goodness.
song's just all around. And yeah, shout out to Alejandro, that trumpet part. It's simple, but it's so effective,
Oh my
It's
god,
just
I'm so dumb. Have
perfect.
I been saying Alex the whole time? I'm such a fucking
Oh.
idiot. I'm so
I-
fucking dumb.
I was like, I didn't know he went
I'm
by
so
Alex.
fucking sorry. Oh my god.
Dude, I thought it was just like
God.
his nickname, and I never knew.
That's unreal.
I'm so dumb. I am so sorry. Can you just
No, dude, you're
can you just take
fine.
this Alex and just dub it? Like take this specific Alex. Like
Yeah,
me
so-
saying Alex, not Alex. Oh, Alejandro.
See?
Alejandro.
And then you just dub in a random Alejandro.
Yeah, just all of them, just Alejandro.
Oh my.
Shout out to Alejandro.
funny.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Hey, there's a lot of like people in this circle of like local musicians that happen to have very like similar names sometimes. I'm sure there's an Alex that you
I've
were
said Alex
thinking
so
of.
sincerely too.
Well,
and I hate
Alejandro
it.
in English is Alex. Alejandro in English is Alex, so it's like
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was just his nickname for you.
honestly, like, because
I wasn't gonna correct you.
honestly, because you know, like, I didn't know his name in Jazz Theory. Like, when I hit him up, I don't like his name wasn't even on his like Instagram, so I was just like, I just kept referring to him as Baby Seals. Yeah. Anyways, don't mind me.
That's
I'm
fair.
so
That's
dumb.
fair.
That's
all
his name
good,
on my
dude.
phone. It's Alejandro Baby Seal. That's what I have it.
He's like, it's just Alejandro DVC
Yeah.
for me.
So okay, so we ended up, so we kind of switched the thing. That's the last song on the EP, but we missed one on With Me, which I want to say something about that song. The lyrics on that one are my favorite on the whole thing.
Really?
The whole thing.
Oh.
Because yeah, at least in my present state right now, that's my favorite. Because I think it's the most emotional, and it kind of also it kind of does the same thing that Exhaustion does, where it's more minimal. But this one feels, it has more, this one's got bass in it. It's a little more layered. But the syllables, again, they flow so well, and I feel like people struggle with that a lot, like trying to find, especially on like slower, somber songs like that, trying to find syllables that don't sound like, too.
Or like too
repetitive
rushed or something, or
Yeah.
like hella stretched out.
Yeah, exactly. Like trying to, if it's just perfect. It sounds like the amount of words you wrote are the ones that are needed for the song. Like no more than that, no more or less. The lines that you have. I think I wrote this down right. I can't guarantee there won't be pain on this road we paved. I know your past was clouded, but if you would allow it, the sun will always shine and the sun will always rise. That's like, it's beautiful. It's like I probably
That's
butchered it,
so
but it's like
poetic.
poetic. It's crazy.
That's so poetic.
It's just
It's so endearing.
it fills
Just,
my
like,
heart
and you remove it. Yeah.
to like hear you. I don't know. I love writing lyrics,
Yeah.
right? So like you guys have no clue like how happy you guys are making me of just like, you guys didn't even ask for lyrics. You guys like had to go out and like listen to it and be like, all right, I'm gonna write it down so I can like bring it up later.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
That makes me so happy. Y'all make me so happy. Yeah. Was there a question for this, or do you just want me to keep talking about it?
No, I mean,
We're just gonna praise
I
it.
guess I didn't ask one. Yeah, was that something that you were like, the contrast between that one and exhaustion? How do you say that word?
Exhaustion.
That one and
Exhaustion.
exhaustion. The difference,
Exhaustion.
Yes.
was that like a reason? I guess the placement. Was there? Well, this
was
is an
intentional.
overall question. It was intentional to have it right after that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
After exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
Was that because of a specific reason, or just like the way it flowed with it?
So initially, right, like it was actually supposed to be just a 4-song EP. And Money Woes wasn't supposed to be there. So I first like had it like structured, as such. And I guess like just going through different stages of like being in a relationship, I guess, like where it's like kind of back and forth, and it's kind of, I don't know, relationships can be messy sometimes, and like they'd be all over the place. And so I like, it's so, yeah, relationships can be messy, and that's why it's like, I don't know, I wanted Exhaustion to be before With Me, because Exhaustion just sounds like dismissive and kind of just like, hey, I'm just worried about me right now. And then in my head, I was like, but With Me, right, like when it transitions, it's like kind of a similar chord progression, or at least it starts off on the same chord, I think, right? Yeah, it starts off on the same chord and stuff, right? And so I want it to be like, it's like two different ways that you can like approach a relationship. You could be like dismissive or caring and devoted.
Okay.
And so I thought that'd be just like an interesting thing to just put together, because it's like, you could start from the same spot, aka same chord, and just like have the relationship come out and like have two totally different outcomes.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like really satisfying to hear you explain that. And like looking back, I'm gonna listen to it now and be like, oh shoot, yeah, like I would not have like thought of that. Like it's cool, like hearing all the like inner workings of the album.
Well, thanks.
And like what you thought of when you ordered it,
Yeah.
I get very meticulous, and sometimes like I mean it's a good thing, but also like sometimes it's like it's just too much.
Yeah.
It consumes me sometimes. But anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand.
Well, so yeah, that's those are all the songs. And one more thing I forgot to ask. Who did the production, the mixing on that?
Oh yeah.
Was it like you and someone else, or was it like more like how did the collaboration go with that? Like working with the person.
Oh, are we? Sorry, I don't mean to be a whatever. Are we not going over in name only or?
Oh, let me see.
Or sorry, I don't know. I just
Dude,
really
you're
wanted
good,
to
you're
talk
fine.
more about that one, or at least
Okay,
like,
we
the
will. Yeah,
lyrics of
for
it.
sure.
Oh no,
That's-
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
Because we didn't know that there was. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Yeah. We could
Because
do
we talked
that.
about Alejandro Alex.
Oh, yeah, that's why I forgot.
That's my bad.
I forgot that we.
Yeah, so we went back.
Yeah. Okay. You know what it is? I forgot to eat my cookies. Now I'm off.
You
my
need
game.
the cookies. You're fuel.
Okay, so let's do this then. We'll do in name only, and then we'll do the because I do want to know. That was one of the questions we have on the notes is about the production.
Oh, okay, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So for in name only, did that one start off as a song that you knew you wanted it to be at the very end, or was it like how did that become the outro, like the big
When it
pulsating like outro to the song?
So when it came to, I didn't even realize I was building an EP, right? I just knew I was in a huge writer's block, and this was a different writer's block than Exhaustion, because Exhaustion was actually before. Oh yeah, it was actually before like COVID, right? Before the pandemic and stuff.
Okay.
And In Name Only was the first song that I wrote out of that like a really bad writer's block in quarantine. And the ending part, where like just like this huge like wall of trumpet sounds right at the very end before the ending.
Yeah.
It was just like have that removed, and that was like how the song was. I didn't realize it was gonna be like the ending song to the project until Alejandro, shout out to Alejandro, who the fuck is Alex, till he got on the track with the trumpets, because it was such a I don't know if it's like the same thing, it's such a joyous thing, and I feel like trumpets like garner this huge like boisterous
like a celebratory
Yeah.
I definitely get that from
And,
trumpets
like,
add so much color to music.
Exactly, and that's in the context of the song itself. That's why I wanted it to be the ending, because it was just so grand and like at least for the song itself, right? Because the song kind of talks about like realizing that you're better off not being in the relationship, right? And coming to that really difficult realization, but coming to that conclusion is like, wow, like I'm like way happier without, and this is great. And like I feel like not a lot of people celebrate that kind of thing. People celebrate getting into relationships, right?
Yeah, they do.
But people don't realize like how difficult it is to accept, oh hey, this relationship isn't working for me, it's not making me happy, and I'm actually a lot more happier when I'm by myself. And that's such a tough thing. And so like I kind of want
it's an underrated thing.
Yeah, it's an underrated thing. That's why I wanted to like compensate with the grandeur of the trumpets and what.
Yeah, it's interesting because breakups and stuff are usually in the moment they feel awful, but breakups are kind of a good thing if they're
they can be
like if
it's
because if you're
dealt
not
with
happy,
healthfully,
exactly, if
Yeah.
they're dealt health, yeah, because then it's like what's the point if you're just dragging it on if both parties aren't both both people are like
Or
just not in it. It sucks for both people. So it's like, if it's dealt with healthfully, it's a good thing for sure.
I don't know, and I just feel like that's just kind of like where I was, because I had not a relationship. I mean, it was a close friendship. It was a close relationship, I guess. I don't know. All relationship. It totally makes sense. But it was it just sucked, because I was like, yo, why do I feel so miserable? And then, there's a point where I was like, yo, I am enjoying myself so much more without you, and it's bittersweet that it's bittersweet that I wasn't trying to. I swear I wasn't trying to.
There it is.
It's very bittersweet that had to happen. You know, like a lot of this like really terrible stuff and events, but I like you here. I like you here. I like you not being here.
Yeah, and that's wonderful.
That sounds mean to say, but
and like in the most respectful way.
Yeah,
it's, like,
of course.
No, it's really
I mean, the song itself is a little disrespectful.
That's really
it's
good.
A little petty, but whatever. You know, that's just me though.
It's like what you can do after getting past that like barrier where it's like, hey, like I only need me.
Yeah,
and that's a really like good feeling to have.
That's
and
a good
not everyone
that's
has
a good
that
message for people too. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Especially now during COVID, where I feel like I mean, I don't know if this is true, but I saw something that like people, you know, a lot of people aren't really staying together just because they have to live with each other now.
Yeah,
and
like
now it's like
all that like 24/7, and that's like you know.
So they have to figure out how to deal with it, or you know that. So it's a good message to give people because I mean, it also doesn't have to be like, you know, loving. Like it could be like just in friendships too.
Yeah,
like just
yeah.
Or your roommates or something. Just dealing with like I see you every day, or even like you know family members. Same thing. It's just like, same thing. It's a good message to go out on that. You know, sometimes you need yourself for a little bit.
Yeah, and with that like sort of like bittersweet realization, is that what inspired you to name the EP Bittersweet?
Yeah, because this EP in itself, like the whole experience was such like a bittersweet thing. Because it's like, oh hey, I feel like you know, this is the sound that I've always wanted to do, and I feel like these are the best songs that I've written so far. But it kind of came out of a lot of bad things, you know, a lot of like terrible events that happened, that like, I guess in a way compelled me to write these songs. And so it's like, it's cool, but also like, damn, you know?
Yeah. And that's a lot of like really good songs. Like they come from like our most joyous or most painful moments.
Vulnerability.
And it's,
exactly.
It's tough. It's tough. And I don't know, like I feel like, and that was the whole theme of it too, like without me realizing it. The name came at the end. Like I already had like the whole project together. I just needed to name it. And like, but that was unintentionally like the theme. Like a lot of the songs, like if they sound happy or they sound cool, there's like an undertone of just like, oh yeah, this sucks. But if it does sound like sad or something, there's, you know, I'm stealing your line, Isaiah, but like, you know, there's a bit of hope there. And it's so
hopeful undertone.
It's hard to pinpoint anything as like one dimensional. There's so many layers to everything. And
I agree.
And I don't know, for me, like naming it Bittersweet was that's just how that experience was for me, creating this whole EP.
Yeah, I mean, hope is a great, you know, that's the thing with like, even with the Hearing Color stuff, I'm happy that the way it came out was that, you know, they're sad songs, but they have a bit of glimmer in there. Yeah. Which is, did you hear my voice crack?
Yeah. That's the glimmer. That's the glimmer coming out.
That's the glimmer.
That's the glimmer coming out.
It's shining through.
I'll animate. But, you know, hope is something we all kind of need right now, especially with everything going on. It's just like, you know, so.
You need some.
You know,
You need some.
Yeah, just it's a good thing to instill in people, especially now. I think, you know, music's such a huge, even whatever the songs mean or whatever they're about, even just listening to them, there's such a connective, like force, I guess you could say. You know, especially now, you know, even with like Cherry Blossom too, that festival you and me both did. And shout out Cherry Blossom, great, love that organization. They always, you know, they always do it for really the better supportive. Good of, and they always, you know, they always do it for like a charity. Like last time they did it, they did it for the Japanese American for solidarity, the charity for that one. I'll put the thing. I don't have the name, but you know, so you know, I think that's great that they're able to like make a festival where people can come together and just due to, you know, just the sheer love of music can support and, you know, bring people together. which is especially something we need like right now with
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
stuff going on and all of our, all the people in the world that are hurting and stuff. So
Touching on that, if I could just intervene for a little bit, like I saw something that I was so happy to just see, and it was like this small snippet of, I think, Ethan Hawke, like the actor, talking about just like art in general, and just
Yeah.
like he was saying a lot of it of just like how important it is, um, because it's there for you when you need it,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like he was talking about like like poetry, right? He was just talking about poetry, and
Mhm.
obviously I'm paraphrasing a lot of this. Like no, all of us, unless you're like a poet, like we don't think about poetry. We don't fucking
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in those moments where like your heart's breaking or you're grieving or something, and you find yourself reading a poem and you find that it you can relate to it, or it touches you in a way that nothing else has been able to. That's why we need art.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And for years, like it's like it's hard to explain to other people who aren't aware of just like what art and what it can bring to the world.
Yeah.
It's hard to try and explain that
yeah,
and try and like be able to, I guess, in a way, like justify it to other people. Be like, hey,
yeah.
it's there when you need it. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't need it.
And
Like, you know what I mean?
It's
Like,
emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you don't realize it until that moment comes, and it's
Yeah.
like, what if you didn't have that your favorite song to listen to
Yeah.
when you're sad, or like that,
Yeah,
like
it's emotional for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
mhm.
I remember the times where like even during the pandemic, like there'd be a song that I never thought about it in that way before, and then I was like, oh, that feels like they're talking to me, or
Yeah.
it feels
Yeah.
like their situation. You put your own meaning to it, and then you
Yeah.
get teary eyed. It's like
yeah.
that's the thing. It's like so important. That's part of the reason we're doing this podcast too, is to get people to, a lot of people now are struggling to put stuff out, and they're like, oh, I can't do it. Oh, like and then and I understand it's hard to start, but
It
it's to create art and to hear it's something that I love that you can be a creator of it and also take so much from it in a positive way.
Oh
you
yeah.
know? So like I find that like even that's interviewing my friends and stuff like that. It's like contrasting with my experience making stuff. I know Monet making films and all that, and her own music. It's great to be able to talk to other people and like yourself and be able to hear different insights and see like so that other people can feel like they can do whatever they please and stuff like that. So that's the whole goal here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
I'm hoping at the end of the pandemic that there's a whole blast of new stuff that's out and like
Oh hell
I'm
yeah.
so excited.
Yeah.
Live performances and everything. It's gonna be so cool,
I'm so ready to
It'd be
perform
awesome.
again. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm so ready to
and we can all perform with each other.
Yes. Yes.
Finally.
We should throw a show together.
Yeah.
That's just me. What do I know? I don't know nothing.
well, I think that's everything we have. I mean, Monet, did you have any more questions?
I don't think so.
We're at like
No.
3 hours right now. It's crazy. I thought it was gonna be like a 30 minute.
Sorry.
They were like 12 hours.
It's okay. It's okay. It's just
No. You're no apologies here.
yeah. What was I gonna say? I had something. I lost it.
He lost it.
I lost it.
These
Oh,
are
I
our
had something.
last thoughts here.
Okay.
Look at that.
Did you have it?
Oh, did you have any more fan questions? The one that you wanted to. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I just remembered that there was one that you didn't say.
Oh, one sec. Here we
Did she
go.
black out on
Perfect timing.
purpose?
She's gonna leave. She's gonna leave
No.
the call.
I wish.
Because wasn't there two? You had like 3 on your phone, right?
Yeah. Oh. Shoot.
Now
Just of
now I
course.
kind of have a feeling like I'm like 98% sure one of them was like inappropriate or something, right?
No, it's
Well-
just she's so excited she can't read it.
Okay. Well, of course, it's kind of general question. We might have kind of grazed over it a few times. What inspires you to make music? Final fan question.
Mm. That's such a loaded question.
It'll be a good send off.
Yeah. What inspires me to make music? Living life. What living, comma, life. Yeah. Honestly, like that's that's like the biggest factor. If I could answer like such a huge general question, um, even in my small feeble life, whatever it is, whatever that is, I feel like I've experienced a lot of things, and what I guess what keeps me going is like when I listen to music and I experience like a connection to someone that I've like never met before, you know? I feel like that's such an amazing thing. And it's like you think about like, cuz you're in your head all the time, 24/7. And you think, "Oh, well, I don't think there's anyone that thinks or like feels exactly how I do right now or how I'm thinking right now." And you find that one song, you find that one piece of art that totally encapsulates the exact moment that you're in, whether that's like feeling mentally, physically, whatever. And you think to yourself, "Wow, I'm not alone." And for me, I that's what makes me want to like keep writing music. And that's like the beautiful thing about it because in like for that artist, like whatever song that is, for them that could be a really personal experience. But because they wrote it in the way that they wrote it, um, like tons of other people were able to relate and feel the same way without even meeting that person. And I think that's the craziest thing. And I kind of want to do that too because like I feel like I'm alone sometimes in the things I do and the things I've experienced. And I'm doing it in the hopes that like whoever does listen to like, whatever music I'm making, if I can help them and keep them company at least for like a little bit in that way, I think that's what helps keeps me going. So
You saying that kind of encapsulates like just bringing me to tears here. No, I'm just kidding. Just I'm not even gonna lie, like just a tiny bit. Like I got a little whiff of emotion there. Not even kidding. Definitely, like that's really something. Like especially when you discover like a new song for the first time, you're like, this is exactly
Yeah.
what I needed to hear.
Yeah.
This is exactly how I'm feeling right now,
Yeah.
and I think it comes off really cheesy to say, but when that happens, like you're like, wow, and then you'll forever remember that song for that unique experience
you can't
had with
describe
it.
it as anything else but like this is what I needed,
Yeah, exactly.
not what I wanted. Like this is what I needed, and it's crazy.
It's a sense of togetherness that I think we all sort of make art for the same reason.
Yeah.
Like, we just
Yeah.
want to connect with one another.
Definitely.
In a way that's more than just talking, in a way that's like sonically like something with the way that frequencies match or something.
Like it's
Yeah.
visceral.
It's perfect.
It's visceral.
Yeah.
It's just a visceral reaction. I think that's such a beautiful thing because we have all these words, right? We have all these words that we could say, all these things we could talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
like,
just the combination.
for like what a 3-4 minute song, like tops, and
Yeah.
that can say so much more than a full conversation. And I think that's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a minimalist.
Thank you for sharing your. Yeah, no, thank you for sharing
Yeah.
your philosophy with us and like the meaning behind all your songs. Hey, it's a philosophy. That's how you feel. It is true.
Well, thank
It's true, and it's wonderful. Your insights. I
thanks for
really enjoyed
hearing-
hearing everything you had to say. Of
Yeah.
course.
Well,
listening.
I'm gonna say I think that's a good end. I think that's a good emotionally beautiful ending point right there.
Yes,
I
wise
think,
words.
so
from
I'll
Iraya.
say for the audience, you guys please check out Bittersweet Iraya on Spotify, all platforms. You can check them out on Instagram at
Even Deezer. I checked.
and Deezer. All of my Deezer friends, check them out on all these platforms, and I'll put them right here or something. And then yeah, you can find them on Instagram at Mo Knows for Show, and I'll spell that just because. And then yeah, was there anything else you wanted to plug? Anything else you wanted to send off into the universe?
Please be nice to each other. It's
Okay.
difficult
Yeah.
for everyone right now, and I know it seems like it's a lot easier said than done to be nice to each other. Being nice is a lot easier than you think it is. So,
Really pays off.
wash your hands, cover your face, stay 6 feet. You know what I'm saying? Sanitize, yeah. Shout outs healthcare workers. Shout outs essential workers. Black Lives Matter. Stop anti-Asian sentiments. Check out what's happening in Myanmar. There's so many things, but I don't want to ruin it by misnaming events in the world. But yeah, let's be more aware and let's be nicer to each other. Thank y'all for having me. Love you guys.
Yeah, thank you for being.
Thank you for
here.
being on.
It's a great first guest, I gotta say.
Awesome first guest.
Made
I
it
hope everyone
easy for
enjoyed.
us too. You know what I'm saying?
Very.
So.
So yeah, I'll probably put this in earlier, but I
Mhm.
forgot to ask about just because it's one of our questions.
Oh yeah.
About the
I can't believe I
producer.
forgot to ask.
Oh,
Who? I like to give the producers a shout out on things.
Yeah.
Who helped you produce it? Who helped you mix and master and all that?
I produce everything.
You produce everything?
I produced everything.
Dang.
Nice.
So you're a jack of all trades. That's a phrase I learned yesterday.
Did you mix it all too?
No.
Okay, you just
okay.
produced it. Okay,
no,
okay.
hell no.
There's a certain kind of patience you gotta have to do that, and I don't have it.
I don't have that. I don't have the patience. I don't have the
I've
ear
given
for
up.
it.
Yeah.
Shout outs, my engineer, Isaac Alessio. I don't know if you remember him, Isaiah, but he was in our class too.
AI synth.
Yes,
He's really good.
He
It sounds really
he
clean.
like glowed up in his engineering.
Glowed
Like
up.
when we first started working together, I was like, oh, yeah, it's gonna take some getting used to.
Yeah.
But like
Man.
we've worked together like a bunch, and he like knows where I want certain things and how I want
That's
certain things
good.
to sound.
Yep.
He's killing it out there. He's in LA. Miss you, my guy.
nice.
He was also my
Aw.
drummer for
Yeah.
the band.
Oh, nice. Drummers, mixers, we love those.
Yeah,
Every
like-
artist has their wizard. You
we
know,
like-
everyone has their production guy.
we like
Oh, yeah.
multi-talented people. So
Yeah.
hmm
yeah,
Dope.
that's my.
Cool. And I'll plug his stuff on the page. But yeah, I think that's everything then. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna say. I don't know yet. I don't know. We have to film the intro.
We also need to kind of. I'm thinking
Round-
just about how it's gonna cut.
Yeah,
'Cause I
we have
know
to
that,
round it
like,
out.
Yeah, we need like kind of an outro.
Can I
Like,
stop
we already said
recording
check
on
out
my
Iraya. Are you done talking?
I don't-
Only if you're done talking.
Oh, okay, never mind. I don't know.
She said,
know.
"Are you
Wait, oh,
fucking
sorry, that
done
sounded like
talking?"
I don't know what we're doing.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Wait,
She
no,
said,
sorry.
"Are you fucking done, sir?" Let's just say we'll say
I'm
goodbye on
sorry.
here. We'll say goodbye. On here.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Thank you
yeah,
so much
there
for
we go.
watching. I've been
Thank you for
Isaiah.
watching.
Monet, you say who you've been.
Who I've been. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining us on our first episode. I hope you've enjoyed. We'd like to catch you in the next episode. Please follow us. We have an Instagram. We probably have a website now.
It'll be
I don't know if I
up
should
by
say
the
that.
time. It'll be up.
It'll be up. We'll catch you in the next one. And it's going to be awesome.
For a good round off, I think Jeremiah needs to leave the room the same way he entered. But like, I think he needs to just storm out of the room.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Just angrily.
Like you saw something really scared.
Just-
Oh.
Oh my god.
Bro.
Oh my god. We made him crawl out the room.
That's the guy. All right, y'all. We love you so much. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week or something. We'll let you know. All right. Peace.
Good.
That was awesome.
That's
Wait,
great.
it was-
Okay, I'm gonna stop my recordings now because I don't want to.